Well, the Castle Mona is certainly making the news. It's interesting what is going on because we were expecting on Monday to find it was going under the hammer in London, but all that changed on Friday. The King of Mauritia, is that right?
Mauritia,
sorry,
yes.
Is with us again. I mean, because you're one of the people interested, and obviously you were, I presume, quite shocked because I think there's been quite a bit of interest. People were going to go down for this event, and it's been pulled. Do you know anything more about it?
As far as I know, is the fact that the actual sellers have the opportunity to withdraw the building at any point. There's been another offer that has gone in pre the auction that is substantial enough for the parties involved, i.e. the bank and the Sefton Group potentially, to look at this offer and see if there's any validity to it, see if there's actually something that could progress the sale for the building.
I'm hearing figures like it seems less than what you were offering some time ago. So
yes,
are you kind of surprised yourself, like what is going on? I mean, certainly the public look like it's
very odd and strange in the sense that back in November of last year we made an offer for £1.8 million to the Sefton Group for the building. This offer is less than that 1.8. So there's an investigation I think that's kind of already gone in from the bank's perspective onto the building, and the bank is the other party that's in this. The bank has to approve because there is a lot of paperwork around that building, and I do believe that there's a debt that was owed by the HSBC.
So there has been interest elsewhere, but now, as far as you know, you got information that it's not going ahead. But it could change again, couldn't it?
It could change again. It's one of these situations where I don't believe it's completely finished yet. It's still something that has to unfold, and we're interested in going all the way with that.
Now, we've got you given access to this walkthrough of a video, which is very clever sort of electronic thing, which gives us an insight, the general public, of what state the building is like.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say it's not in brilliant condition? I mean, it's been said to the public it's okay and structurally sound, but it looks like it's in need of some work, to say the least.
As an academic and the expert on this building, I have a different set of standards of what I would call a building in good condition. And I think it's fair to say that, many people will have their own opinions on the building. But what I've been able to do through my academic thesis is look at the building from a very unusual view, a view that I do not believe many people have had the luxury of seeing the Castle Mona in, and that's this dollhouse version of the building. So there's been a 3D scan that's been done of the building that's actually part of my academic research.
And the pictures we're seeing here of the main sort of dining area, looks like a hole in the roof.
So I believe that those pictures were published back I want to say a couple months ago, of some of the interior pictures of the saloon ceiling, and it's not in necessarily good shape, and it's quite unfortunate because it's one of the largest grand scale paintings, the largest grand scale painting on the Isle of Man.
You had an interested friend who came to the Isle of Man, a certain Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes, Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber came over. So I was able to walk him around on that day of the 3D scan around the building. So you'll probably see images of myself and Andrew Lloyd Webber just kind of pop up around because it's the 3D scan is taking images of that as well. So
So, I mean, this is something you obviously dearly wanted.
Yes.
Do you think it's all over, or do you think they...
No, not at all. Not at all. I believe that so many offers have been made in the past, including mine, which should go through, but don't always do for a variety of different reasons. And this is not a simple situation. It's littered with complexity. And I think that it's important that the people of the Isle of Man understand that, it is a challenging situation. And I do believe we're closer than ever to finding a solution for this building. And not just from an economic standpoint, but also from the standpoint of history. This building has a very important place in the heart of many people on this island. And I believe it's about creating a new narrative that builds on that relationship between the people and this building.
How protected is it? I mean, could someone buy that and turn it into a hotel again or into flats? I mean, what limitations are on it? Do you know?
Theoretically, the use of the building is one of the big concerns. We've looked at that before. I know that the Sefton Group do not wish the building to be a hotel or casino, which makes sense.
Oh, they can put a covenant on it to stop that.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're well within their rights to. And I also believe that the situation with the planning component is that I genuinely believe the government just wants to see something done with the building. So I'm not 100% sure on what they will actually allow. I know what our interest for the building would be, and we didn't have any problems in breaking any covenants with that. It was pretty much straightforward. It's going to be be a residents and social members club.
So the story hasn't ended yet.
No.
Do you think that it might still end up at auction then, do you think?
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's one of these things that has to definitely unfold, and we have to allow it to unfold in order for us to be able to do something with it.
I mean, obviously, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it's less money than you'd offered some time ago, which must send a
It's
some
slightly,
sort of
a message. It's slightly aggravating.
Yeah.
You know, there are many people out there that don't know the full story, and because of the sensitivity around commercial deals, I'm not able to fully, explain everything at this moment. But I do want, at a later point to bring in, my advisors, to bring in the people that have been, almost every step of the way on this journey with me on this island.
But quite an interesting list of people behind.
Yeah, quite a few.
And they're island-based people who are supporting, I know that.
Yeah.
But it's like all of these things until we know where it's going.
But
maybe someone from the Stepton Group would like to get in touch with us and give us their version of what's going on, because it's puzzling a few of us here.
Well, I believe we have to start the conversation today. Let's actually get to the point and figure out what this is really about and how we can actually do something that's for the good of this building. At the end of the day, I think that this is what we are inevitably forgetting. Beyond commercial interest, there needs to be something that actually honors the building in its heritage, and the policies that are written to protect buildings here on the Isle of Man. We have to rethink them and reimagine them, and that's part of what my academic thesis is actually pointing to. We need to underpin it a little bit.
And the longer it's empty, the more potential for things to go wrong. I think
Absolutely.
from some of your scans, it looks like potentially there may have been some children activity or vandals, or even call it.
Yes.
It looks like there's some TV smash up.
Oh, definitely, yes. So there's been vandalism of the property, over the past, decade or so, where, people should not necessarily have that access in, that have found ways of getting into the building, and that's created a lot of structural damage in some places, and not just to the furniture but to other parts of the building, trying to forceful entry into the building.
Standing here now, I just think how long I've talked about this story, and I remember when they finally shut last time round, when it had the bowling alley and all that. That's a long time ago, and it's must be something that I think everyone would like to see it back in use, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course, I'm willing to explore aspects of the building's future which are not so traditional. Possibly, you look at the significance of what this building has for the Isle of Man, its context in a landscape. These are some things to consider. Is the building really supposed to be on this site? Who knows?
Did you have a check ready to go, by the way, if necessary? I mean, you were just going to go down a bid.
We are prepared for an auction. That's what I'm able to say. We are prepared for an auction, and investment is available. We just want to make sure that we're not placing ourselves in another compromising situation where we make an offer and it's not accepted.
I should point out, I think we said already, that weren't the only ones interested. That's the thing. There's quite a few people who took the packs out, didn't they?
There you go. So I believe 20 or so people that took out the packs, the legal pack for the building.
Yeah.
And 5 of the interested parties I know are at least on the island. So it'll be interesting just to see how this unfolds. But part of this message as well would be to reach out to the people that do have a future for this building and would like to speak about it. I would love to work with people on the adaptive reuse of this building, and that's something that I said from the very, very beginning.
And how should they get in touch with that?
Oh yeah, through the website. Okay. Yeah, find me online, and I look forward to speaking to you.